What is up, people? This is the Oracle. I'm back from London. That was a great weekend. I played at the GP, and I can finally upload because I wanted to upload on Friday, but I wasn't able to do so because I was lacking time. And yeah, I'm back from London. It was a great trip. I went 11-4, which was, it's a good, it's a decent score. I was pretty happy, but I was kind of disappointed in the end because I went 7-2 in sealed. Then I 3-0'd my first draft, so I was in 10-2. And the last draft, I thought I had a really good deck, and I still think it was really solid, but it didn't work out so well since I went 1-2. I was pretty close to make money or get qualified for a pro tour or something like that. So kind of a shame, but still was a great GP, and the place was great. I had a lot of pleasure to play. So yeah, that's it. And I learned quite a lot of things playing there, and also preparing for the GP. So I have more experience than in the last draft. That pack is not great. I'm not a huge fan of the Angel. I think 6 mana is a lot in this stat. Game can go really quickly and some decks are really aggressive. Eliminate the competition. I think it's kind of sweet. You can build around, you can pick a bunch of fabricate cards and maybe make it good. Emerald Bruiser and Doomed Operative are very good in the black-based aggressive deck. And Glintsleeve Artisan is probably one of the best commons here. I think I'm gonna go with eliminate the competition. I don't think it's among the best rare, but that pack was not so great, and it's pretty sweet card to build around, so we'll try to do that. Snare Thopter is insanely powerful. When you look at the card, you could think it's decent. Actually, each time I played that in a game or played against, played against that, I was like, this is way too strong and way too fast. It really kills you super quickly. It's also colorless, which is quite valuable early in the draft. Screecher and Conclusion, I think, are both worse than Thopter, so I have no reason to pick those over the Thopter. Now, Fateful Showdown is a pretty good card, but staying, out of red and picking colorless card just seems better. I'm not sure which one is actually better between the Thopter and the Showdown, sorry. But I think that the Thopter might be better either way, and staying, colorless is just better right now, so I'm gonna pick that. I've really been impressed with that card, by the way. It kills so quickly. Flying is just quite good in the set in general, too. Okay, this pack is not so appealing. Either Theorist and Aviary Mechanic are two very decent, common 2-drops, but none of them are really reason to go into white or blue. Inventor's Goggle is fine if I want to stay colorless, but pretty unappealing. Track Attack Club Security is not great. That pack is, yeah, really unexciting. Era of Innovation is kind of a sweet build around, but I really think that the set is fast and that you don't really have time to make this kind of thing and dawdle around. I mean, this is a decent card, but I really don't want to be doing that in this set that much. I mean, I might do it at some point, but here I think I'll just go with Ether Theorist. I like that card a decent amount. I think it's solid, and it does kind of the same thing than the blue enchantment, which is giving you card advantage, except that, you get a body and you can block and you can do things, where the enchantment just doesn't do anything. Doesn't add to your board presence, which is, I think, quite important. Best card here is probably Honda Week. Dayong is fine, not great, but it's a decent removal. Since we have already a pretty good black card, I think I'll just pick that. Pack is rather unexciting. Looks like green might be open. There's a decent amount of, not amazing, but pretty solid green cards here, so who knows. Nothing in red, though. I mean, Hijack is not really where you want to be at. Ooh. Freighter going 5th pick. That should probably not really happen. I mean, it's Monday, it's still a pre-release draft, but This is probably the best common in the set regarding first pick. A card like Welding Spark might be slightly better, but since this is colorless, you will always first pick it over the sparks. It might even be a better first pick than most uncommon. I don't know. That thing is insane. Like the train is crazy good. Reverb Privileges is decent, but I think just worse than Freighter. And yeah, Subtle Strike is a very solid trick. It's not. You can also use it just as a Rimvol and pump one of your creatures, so it's just a very good card. But Freighter is the nut. Ooh, Dune the Operative, as I mentioned before, is very good. Underhanded Design is very good too. It's kind of close. Honestly, given this start, I really want to be aggressive and try to beat down if possible. And yeah, but Designs is a good card too. And we have 2 artifacts already. And black deck tends to want artifact in general. I think it's closer than it looks because the Operative is really solid. Like it's very often just a 3/2 death touch for 2. Malfunction is also a pretty good card, but I don't think you should pick that over any of the black cards here. It's close. I don't really know. Just want to be aggressive though. Earlier in the set, when I had less knowledge, I would just have picked the Rimvol, which I think is very good and might actually be the right pick, but I just feel like I want to be as aggressive as possible when I'm playing Kaladesh, and Dune the Operative is such a good aggressive card that I just want to pick that. Might be wrong though, because the Rimvol is really solid too. But I think I definitely think that I might be wrong. But if you think this is not close, I think you are wrong. I think this is quite close actually, but I might be wrong. Either way, no black cards here, no good artifact. I think we'll play Clean Sleeve Artisan, which is a very good card, the best in the pack. Works very well with Eliminate the Competition, Dune the Operative because it gives you an artifact, and it's a solid card in general. Not thrilled about the club security, but it's not a bad card. Okay, Eddy Trail Oak, not my favorite, but probably the card I'm the most likely to play here. Torch Gauntlet is not the worst. I'm not a huge fan. Works pretty well with Snare Top there. Any Flyer, any Fabricate. It's the card I'm the more likely to play here. So I'm pretty much in black now. Maybe with some artifact shenanigans, probably. And then I'm trying to be aggressive. I've eliminate the competition, and I could be blue or white maybe. Nothing I particularly like here. Puzzle Knot is a good sideboard option, even if you are not red. If a deck packs a bunch of good one-toughness creature, and there are a couple of good one-toughness creature in the set, I think it's better than the other option. I don't really like Pressure Point, and the Consulate thing that makes you fog a permanent once a turn is not great either, I think. I like this start though. Okay, I think that card. I thought that card was really bad, but I saw a lot of player actually playing that, and it's kind of good because it gives you a free artifact for things like Dun Operative, and you still end up drawing 2 cards. I mean, the rate is not great because you pay 5 mana and lose 2 life, but this card is probably better than I thought it was. That's what I'm trying to say. I think I'm more likely to end up in white than blue right now, so Herald of the Fair seems like a better pickup than the Blade Master. I think Blade Master is slightly stronger, but I think my white was slightly better than my blue when I picked that, and it still is. Marionette Master is a sweet one. Very good card for a black artifact themed deck. You get to Fabricate 3, and then it's kind of what was the name of the card that was played in Affinity and got banned? Disciple of the Vault. Each time an artifact dies, you can make the opponent lose life. Except that if you, this is the power of the the Marionette Master, so can deal a lot of damage if you have it as a 4-6. Either way, very good card. Aerial Responder is strong too, but I think weaker, especially since we are not sure that we will be white. The Decoction module is kinda sweet, but again, I feel like in a decent amount of games in this set, you don't really have the time to use this kind of stuff. But at some point, don't worry, at some point I will try to build the sweet funny deck with some modules, some card advantage, and some late game, but not today. Very interesting pick here. Skywheeler Shot is much better than Revoke Privilege is, much better than Shield Guard 2, but there's a Gearsmith and we know that we are black. Both cards are really good. I think the Shot is better, but I think it's quite close. I don't think I'm really... I mean, this might wheel, but even if I'm the only white-black player at the table... Well, it's a league draft, so nobody is supposed to counter draft, and I might be the only white-black player. But the pack is pretty weak, so maybe someone is gonna pick it and trying to splash for it. The Shot is just really good, though. I think it's close, but I think Shot is just slightly better. I love Gearsmith, though, it's an amazing card. Healy's Artistry is insane. That card was in my sealed pool at the GP, and each time I cast it I was like, okay, I win the game, goodbye. It's just, when you look at it you think, okay, it's very good, but when you play it you realize it's just much even better than that. And I think I might just pick it and try to go into blue. It's close. I mean, there are no good black cards really. Rush of Vitality is fine, but not very exciting. Servo Exhibition is decent. I think we want to pick that and see if maybe we can make it work. The card is really insane. Okay, let's sort by color again. Don't like the Oak too much. I don't like Herald too much. Yeah. Right now my blue is slightly more powerful, but I don't know if blue will be open. This pack doesn't have much. Rush of Vitality again, not super appealing, I think. Fine, but there are a good amount of good tricks and getting them is not that hard. I think I might want to pick Nimble Innovator, which is just a very solid blue card. There's not much great in white. Wheeler Maker I think is just a bit too slow. Best card of the pack probably being Brazen Scourge. Just very solid. We'll pick the Innovator. Cloud Blazer. Now I want to be Esper. Cloud Blazer is such a sweet card. But I think we are a bit too deep into black to try to pick that. And there's a very solid pickup for us in Iron League Steed, which is gonna make the deck no matter what works. It's a good card in general. It works well with the artifact synergies. It's just solid. But it would be tempting to go black-blue splashing for Shot and Cloud Blazer. I definitely acknowledge that. I think Steed is just a safer and better pick. Not a better card, but given what we have, I think it's just safer. And yeah, it's just better to pick that in general. Okay. Impeccable Timing is pretty good. I think I really want to go blue. Like, again, the artistry is just insanely powerful. Earlier in the set I would have picked Janjit Sentry over Windrake, but I think that Windrake is actually much better. Unless you have a ton of energy and synergies with energy, this is not that great, and Windrake has actually been very good for me. Again, everything with flying that's rather aggressive, I think it's just awesome in this set. Not a Windrake, I don't mind that. Blue-black aggro is, I think, a very solid deck, actually. It's kind of weird because you would expect blue-black to be a control deck, but you can play a good blue-black aggro with cheap, efficient black creatures and a bit of fly from the blue, and it's just quite efficient. You have a bit of evasion, you have you can be quite aggressive too. It's a pretty sweet deck. Alright, so the Windrake. I'm pretty happy I'm in blue. Again, it's another card I'm really thrilled about in general when I'm drafting any set, but I found the Drake to be really good in Kaladesh. But maybe it's just a wrong impression, but we'll see how it performs. We have 3, so I guess it will be pretty clear if it's good or not when we will be playing. Either trade wins, not a huge fan. I don't really want energy or need energy. Inventor's Goggle is decent. Currently I think we have only 1 Artificer though. Well, 2 I guess. Either trade win is mostly a good sideboard option against card like any enchantment removal basically, like Revoke Privileges. I think it's main deckable and it's a good sideboard option, so I'm gonna pick that. I don't really want to main deck it though. Blade Master is solid. It's kind of nice because we had a pretty huge hole here and it's completely filled up now. Ooh, Gearsnake Serpent. When I saw the card, I thought it was kind of mediocre. Turns out that thing is just really good. And we can make it work. We have a couple artifacts and artifact making creatures. Okay, we got a Rush of Vitality, which is nice. I'm pretty happy about that. Windrake. Alright, all those Windrakes. I think I like Windrake more than Blade Master, but if I don't get any other 3-drop, I'm happy to play those 6 3-drop and just leave them in the deck. Alright, ooh, Smuggler Sculptor, sign me in. Yeah, I don't think there's anything you should first pick over that in the entire set. Maybe the Skyship, the 5 mana vehicle that deal 3 and the 6/5 flying, but other than that, you know, Copter is insane. Yup, fairly easy pick. It's an artifact, which is great. It's one of the best 2-drop. It's the best 2-drop in the set, actually. It's not one of the best, it's pretty clearly and by far the best 2-drop in the set. I think Torch Gauntlet got better since we picked 4 Windrakes actually. Again, not a card I'm a huge fan of, but once you have a bit of evasion and you are trying to be aggressive, certainly is a nice one. Prophetic Prism I think is kinda decent because, well, we are yeah, I don't think it's enough to make us want to splash for the shot, which is good, but yeah, I don't think we want to do that. Now it could be a decent pick. Either Theorist is good too. Glimmer of Genius is kind of fine, but I wonder if Theorist is just not better. Again, the set is pretty aggressive. Like, if you don't have a blocker on turn 2 and your opponent play a Cub, you pretty much lose the game. That's one of the very aggressive, very good cards that can really put you in trouble. As an example, Self-Assembler could be a good pick if we get another one. Like, I'm pretty happy to have 2 of these in my deck. Don't really want more, but 2 is fine. It's an artifact too, which is nice. I think I'll pick that and see if I can get another one. And I don't have that many 5-drop yet, so it's kinda cool. Well, yeah, there's another one, but I don't think I can pick that over Experimental Aviator, which is, well, first it makes 2 artifacts, which is great for the Serpent and for the Master. Second, it's a great card with Eliminate the Competition. Third, it's 3 flying creatures, which is great for the Gauntlet. Yeah, it's just so good in my deck. Just cannot pass that. Ooh, Chief of the Foundry is a sweet one. Very good one to play with Copter, Freighter, Snared Thopter. Looks very solid in the deck. Dayong is kind of fine too, appealing. Ambitious Etherborn I think is a pretty solid 5-drop in my deck, but this is just great. Like, the Dream Curve is actually Copter, turn 3, Foundry, animate the Copter, beat down for 4, turn 4, Snare Thopter, attack for 8. That's that's really insane. And actually, I played against at the GP. I played against Raphaël Levy, which is a French Hall of Famer, and we discussed a little bit. He was really nice, and he told me that he did that one game, except that it was not the copter. It was the 2-3 common vehicle, but that's a little bit weaker, but still very very aggressive and strong. Okay, I think we want enthusiasts again. Amazing with eliminated competition, amazing with the snake. Pretty much everything we want. And at this point I have enough 3-drop where I want to cut the Blade Master. Ooh, Etherborn Marauder. I like that one. I don't have that many Fabricate cards, but just a 2-2 Flying Lifelink for 4 is not the worst rate. It's pretty good with Torch Gauntlet. And I think I have 2 Fabricates cards, maybe more. 3. Yeah, that card is pretty good in general, and I could use another 4-drop, especially since I don't really want to play this Club Security. So, definitely a better card. Ooh, Tidy Conclusion. This deck was kind of lacking Removal, so I'm pretty happy to pick that. Nimble Innovator would be quite solid too, but I think this is just better. At this point, I don't think we'll get to self-assemble anything. Probably not playing the first Club Security, so I will not play a second one. The first Puzzle Knot is fine, but 2 is kind of clunky. Like if you draw 2 Puzzle Knot the same game, yeah, it's kind of clunky and slow, I think. I don't think you want to be doing that. Night Market Lookout is kind of good with Sculptor, pretty bad in general. If it was a regular draft, I would counter draft the Seed Sculptor, which I think is very good. Here I'm gonna pick Ambition, though. It's not something I want to main deck, but it's sweet for the sideboard. Eager Construct I think is fine because we are lacking 2-drop, and it's nice with the Chief, it's nice with the artifact things in general. It's just not a great card, but when you care about artifact, it becomes actually quite appealing. Ooh, we will the Ether Theorists. Sweet. Happy about that. Okay, we got a second Self-Assembler and another Blade Master, which I will not play. Huh. We have way too many playables. I don't think I need the Self-Assembler thing. I think my late game is good enough. Like I have the Snake, Artistry Master, some very good 5-drops, so I think I'm gonna cut that. I think Rush of Vitality is fine, but we can cut it and leave it in the side. And now the Puzzle Knot is fine, but not super appealing. We have just better artifact to play with. So this is a 24 I'm pretty happy about, but well, the Snake cost I think between 5 and 4 in this deck, but I still want to play 17 lands. Like my late game and my high, I mean 6-drop, that's not still high, but I mean this is not a 16 land deck. But I've played a couple, I mean I think the 2 draft I made at the GP were actually 16 lands draft, but this one is not really a 16 land draft. So we need to cut something. It could be the Gauntlet, which I don't love, but on the other hand, it's really good with flyers, and I do have a fair amount of flyers. By the way, I think this deck is really, really good. Like, the curve is good, the power level is great. I just love it. But yeah, we need to cut something. Certainly not one of these things. It's a 3-drop or a 2-drop that we need to cut. Maybe I could see myself cutting one Windrake. I have enough of the 3-drops. I mean, I think Windrake is great, but we have enough things to do. Eager Construct, not very appealing, but fine. I could cut an Ether Theorist too. I'm trying to be aggressive. And I feel like I have enough 2-drops. Yeah, it's kind of close. Nah, I'm gonna cut a Windrake. Regarding the mana, I think it's pretty even. Slightly more blue, I guess. Yeah, slightly more blue. It's gonna be 9/8. Yep. Alright. So here we are. Blue black, Blue-black beatdown. Not that aggressive, but pretty solid. Again, I love to play control decks, but I don't think you really want to play control in this set. But that's a nice deck. Yep. Hope you guys enjoyed the draft, and see you for round 1.